Ladies and gentlemen, Mike King here. I got my man.
Some lemon.
You can't see me? You can say, all right, ladies and gentlemen, Mike King here with my man Samar Lemons. What's the name of the program?
Lemon Drop Show.
Okay, here we go.
Three, two, one, blast off! Are you ready for action? I'm not from Vegas. Are you ready for action? I'm not from Vegas.
Get ready for motivation and inspiration with no excuses. Putting the squeeze on life and getting out all the juices. When the challenges come and you're taking hard hits, just know you ain't failed if you have not quit. It's the Lemon Drop, y'all, with the one and only Samar Lemons, that cool kid with the crazy shoe game, finding sunshine in the midst of the rain. Madness to share, y'all gonna learn when you listen to this dope brother y'all best not be missing.
What are you listening to?
It's the Lemon Drop, y'all, with the one and only Shamar Lemons.
I'm not from Vegas.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Lemon Drop Show. Today I have Pastor Walker, and we're going to talk about the youth, about this conference that we have coming up on the 11th and 14th in July. And Pastor Walker, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Pastor Walker, pastor at Tabernacle of Faith, a worship center in Beltsville, Maryland. I'm here today to talk about the KBF Youth Ministry. We will be having a convocation with KBF Fellowship out of Providence Forge, Virginia, with Archbishop Raymond Ote is presiding prelate. But I'm here today to talk about the youth ministry and what we are going to be doing with them at the convocation.
So the convocation is for the youth. Can you give us one or a couple of important things why it is important to get the youth in the churches or in Christianity life or anything like that?
Well, the convocation as a whole is for KBF, the fellowship, but we're actually this year putting together a great program for our youth to participate with the adults as well. Mm-hmm. So we're coming together. We have events, we have worship services that they will participate in. The youth ministry team for KBF has really been working really hard to put this together to be a part of the convocation as a whole for KBF. So the adults will have their portion, and then the youth ministry will have their portion as well.
Okay. And what can you give us, like, what is the biggest goal, like, for these convocations, for, like, just trying to help our kids get closer to God, or people, adults like us, get closer to God in any way through this convocation?
So convocation itself is nothing but a gathering of people.
Mm-hmm.
So the people will be gathering together, and we'll be having worship services. We will have different types of classes that people can be a part of. The theme this year is preserving the foundation. So we really want to make sure for our youth that they have the proper foundation of what Christianity is and how it can best affect their lives, and they understand what they're believing. Mm-hmm. So what we're doing with them, like I said, with the adults, we're doing the same thing with the youth. So we'll have worship services, we'll have classes for them, but we're going to make it super fun for them as well. So on a Tuesday night when they come in, we're going to have a big party for them, mm-hmm. and get silly with them, play games with them, and really just have an amazing time this year at convocation for the youth.
Yeah, and that's something we need for the youth, because like we need to try to bring the youth back to God nowadays, because it's like the youth nowadays. I think I don't want to talk bad about them, but like nowadays they're getting off track, or they just, I don't want to say they're misled, but they are getting misled by things that are going on outside of this world, like maybe music or rap or guns or drugs, anything. So we really need to to find out a way how we can get our youth back in these churches so we can be one whole again as people. So
Oh no, go ahead.
I just want to say, what do you think will make a successful congregation?
You know, what will make it successful for us is that one, we get the youth participation that we want, and if you notice, it's almost like a family affair
Mhm.
where we have the adults, they'll be doing one thing, but their children won't be too far off, learning, participating, having that or growing the same mindset that we want people to have. So if the family grows, everybody is growing. So we're preserving the foundation, making sure that their Christian beliefs are set from us from a young person. So then that way, if things do go wrong in their life, they're able to go back to the foundations
Yeah.
that they have, which is their Christian beliefs.
Yeah, and just like you say, Nate, if things go wrong, you know, it's better to learn Christ now, so you don't be over the age of 40 and the famous quote, "If I knew then what I knew now."
Why 40? Why you must
I'm just saying. So it's better. I'm glad that we doing this for the youth so that they can learn about Christ now, and so that they won't have to use that quote. If I knew then what I knew now, because now that you're learning, you know it for then, and then you can teach other people what you knew now, or if you know what I'm trying to say.
Oh no, I definitely agree with you.
Yes.
I definitely agree. One of the things what I love about the youth portion of the convocation is that you have a team of individuals come together and make the same statement that you making. Our youth are going through some things.
Mhm.
How can we get together and make sure that we don't lose the ones that we have? And not just that, but then also how can we help those that feel like they're lost or don't have a pathway to get back to God or get back to a place where they can at least try to understand who is God and what are the advantages of me having God in my life.
Yeah, because I sit back and visualize a lot of things that's going on nowadays, and I could be wrong, but the biggest thing that I can see nowadays with the youth is that they don't fear God, and they don't fear God, so they don't think that this consequence could lead up to this, or this reaction may lead up to this, but once we and I'm still learning about God, I don't know everything about him. We just have Bible study, or I try to help my mama teach Bible study, and one of the things that we talked about was you don't know everything. So you don't know everything. You definitely need to ask God to guide you. So just like these youth, the youth, they need to seek for God, because they don't, it's gonna keep getting bad and bad out here every day.
You know, I like the statement that you made when you said, I don't know everything.
Mhm.
I'll say the same thing. I'm a pastor, but I don't know everything. And that's one of the things that we have to do is continue studying, continue trying to figure out what's God's path for my life. And the only way you can do that is being around people that know more than you do. And then also a prayer life. And that's one of the things that we are pushing as well with the foundation or preserving that foundation. We need to be teaching our young people what is prayer. You know, it's good to read your scriptures. It's good to be around other brothers and sisters that understand and know or have been through some things with God so they can understand, hey, God did this with them. He can also do this with me.
Yes, sir. And you said something about prayer. Prayer is like a superpower. Prayer changes everything. I'm just starting to force myself to pray. It was very hard for me to pray because I used to think that when I pray, God don't hear me. So you just knock that out the window. I just go on by one day. But now, every day I try to at least pray. I say something like, God, please watch over me and my family. Guide us through the day, something small like that just to start off. Anything is better than nothing. So, I'm starting to pray more, and, the more I pray, the less I worry. And, things start to come around for me and my family. The more that we do pray, and the more that we encourage other people to pray, everything just falls into place, through prayer.
I agree with you 100%. Like you said, man, you gotta start out somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So God hears, and the part about us understanding that, it's one of those things where sometimes God will allow you to get things, and then at the same time, God doesn't always give us what we want because we don't need everything we feel that we need.
And yeah, and God definitely don't give us everything we want. And it's like I heard somebody say, God says no, but the devil is always quick to say yes. And if we always get what we want, it's like we won't be grateful for it. So I used to ask God like, why am I not healed? But if I was healed 3 days after I got hurt, I wouldn't really probably would have been grateful for. I wouldn't look at things the same. But people, we need to get like the youth, the new generation to fall under God's name instead of what they've been doing, getting led away from God, like all this foolishness that's been going around with the, I didn't want to say it, but the Pride Month, stuff like that, that's leading people away from God. And if stuff like this convocation that we got coming up is very good for the youth to try to bring everyone back together as a whole.
That's the beautiful thing about convocations as a whole, because it brings us together so we can regroup, go back out into our neighborhoods and tell people this is what God is all about. And you said it, bringing young people to know that this is who God is, this is what he expects of you. And if the older generations aren't teaching, then people get lost.
Yeah, and if it ain't no teacher, we ain't gonna learn. And like I taught in Bible study Tuesday, if we don't have no teacher, then we gonna learn. We're gonna lean into our own understanding, and when we lean into our own understanding, it ain't gonna go. I know it ain't gonna go so well for the people that's leaning to their own understanding, but the people that lean towards God, shoot, you ain't got no choice but to be happy and everything to go your way. But
That's why I like the theme for this year set out by Archbishop and the bishops about preserving the foundation. Because when you have a foundation, you at least know which way to get the right answers. And that's one of the things about this year with the youth ministry. We're going to have fun with them.
yeah, we're gonna have fun.
That's not the issue. Anybody can have fun. But at the same time, are we giving them everything that they need so they won't go out here when a bad situation happens and they go pick up a gun and start robbing and stealing?
Yeah, because nowadays, I don't think that they teach about Christ in schools anymore.
Oh no,
Well, I don't think that they ever did. But if they did teach, like Bible studies in school, or Christ, or a class that got to do anything with Jesus, I think that they should look forward to do that. But I know that's something they need to do, but they wouldn't. But if they did, it would already be a jump start for the youth. Because I know a lot of people that I grew up with, and probably past generation, don't know much about God. And you can see it now that stuff that's going on every day, that we just don't have God as a whole.
Well, I will say, July 11th through the 14th, we're opening up to the youth. If you want to come by and get some time where you want to learn some things, come on down to 4 Point Sheraton, Richmond Airport, and definitely get an experience with God. That we're opening that up.
And can I ask you some personal questions?
Please, sir.
What gave you the passion to wake up and say, I want to be a man of God, or a pastor that you are today?
Man, that's a real good question. I've been in ministry since I was 22 years old. I'm 42. There's always been a calling on my life. I knew that from a young person. But my grandparents, my parents, they kept me in church. And I was one of those village children where even though I had parents and grandparents, if somebody saw me doing something,
Oh yeah.
before I got home, I was in trouble.
Yes, sir.
And then when I got home,
I understand. I understand. You get a whooping before and after you
yes,
go.
sir.
You know, and sometimes they whoop you just to let you know, don't act a fool. So they're gonna give you the pre-whooping before you go in church.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, but you know, like you said, growing up, I grew up in church too with my mom, my grandma. You know, they didn't play that. So you know, I grew up with my. I did grow up with my mom because she had me at a young age. So our church is Rock Hill Baptist Church.
Okay.
And you know, I grew up watching my mama praise dance all my life. So all my life, I've been in and out of praise dance practice with my mom, in and out of Bible studies and stuff. So, like you said, I think I've been called to this journey too, like you have. You know, I just try to inspire people and try to get them as close to God as I can, or at least try. You know, but you know, Jesus couldn't save everybody, so I'm not.
You know, it's interesting you say that because I'm happy with just one. Each one. If I reach one person today, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'll be the first one to tell you I'm not in it for the money.
Yeah.
I'm not in it to get fame or notoriety. If I can tell one person a day about Christ and they start or build a relationship with Him, man, I'm happy.
Yeah.
That's where it's at with me. But yeah, I've been in ministry for a while.
Yeah. You said 20 years. I'm 20 years old, so I pray that I will stay in it just like I am now, and I hope that I will always help or inspire someone that needs to be encouraged, and I hope that you know, like now, speaking about the youth, my mama, she has her own program, outreach and hands ministry, and she's trying to now start her own praise dance.
Oh wow.
Her praise dance team. So that's what we were working on. So you know, there's a lot going on with the youth trying to get them to connect with God nowadays. Cause that's what we need. You know, we need God, and we need the God to help with the youth, because the youth is the new generation that's going to be running the world. And if we keep leading the people away from God, Lord knows what's going to happen in the next 20 years.
You're right. Oh, look, only He knows because the way the direction is going now, it's scary. But just on what you're doing right now, they hear your voice. So if they hear you talking about God, what else is going to happen?
Yeah, I hope they listen to me, because you know, it's like they don't listen to their parents nowadays. But hopefully, like 11 through the 14th at this convocation, I just know we're gonna have fun, having fun reading the word, doing events, you know, anything, eating. Are we gonna be eating there?
Oh,
Yeah.
you see my face?
Yeah.
I like to eat,
You
so
said-
we going to eat.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'll bring some of that Maryland seafood down there. Yeah, I'll bust open a couple of crabs.
Look, we'll have a private conversation
Yeah.
about them crabs,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know if that's in the budget this year to bring crabs
That's
down.
fine. That's fine. And can you just tell everyone one more time, you know, your church and the theme for the convocation and just what it's about, just one more time.
Yeah, so I pastor Tabernacle of Faith Worship Center, which is in Beltsville, Maryland. We are part of Kingdom Builders Fellowship out of Providence Forge, Virginia. And the convocation, Preserving the Foundation, is the theme for the entire convocation, which will be at 4 Point Sheraton, Richmond. We're having it there, and the youth ministry, which I'm part of. We have a beautiful youth ministry team that, you know, they make everything so easy for the youth. So preserving the foundation, that's what we're focusing on, preserving the foundation so our youth will have something to build off of when they get older.
Okay. Yeah, That sounds good to me. As long as we get the youth good and about Christ, that's hopefully we make God happy.
That's it. And we are so happy that you're able to come and participate, worship with us on Friday.
Yes, sir.
And
I appreciate y'all for having me come.
oh man, once I heard you, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yes,
Wouldn't have
sir.
it any other way.
Mike did it.
Wrap it up, man.
Oh, so this is the lemonDROP Show, and you're listening to the lemonDROP with me and Mr. Walker, the pastor. And we thank you all for tuning in and listening. And I hope you all have a good morning, rest of your morning.